Welcome back to the channel. Here I am. I just got so many videos done on my sister's bike. Ooh, I edited all these. I've been making so many videos the last 2 weeks. It's crazy. Spend all my free time editing them, which is sometimes all I want to do. I did go to the CCC on Sunday into Bike Farm. At first, it didn't seem like a lot of exciting stuff, which happens sometimes. I was very last in the lottery to get called, and even so, I almost got my hands on a pretty nice Jamis road bike. You know, maybe 10 or 15 years old, real complete, real nice, real clean. I don't know why they weren't saving it. I thought about it, put it back. Jeff ended up grabbing it. I didn't even see this bike. One of the other guys, one of my favorite guys there, whose name I do not know. He's always got like nice 501 jeans on with it cuffed all 50 style. He likes vintage bikes. He found this bike. I was like, well, I didn't even see that one. I love old French bikes. He loves old mountain bikes. I love old French bikes. And he thought about it. When we first walked in, when they first opened the door, we walked right past the recycling pile, and this was in the recycling pile. I saw him like, oh, that fork looks pretty cool. But it's in the recycling. There's probably something wrong with it. I have no idea what, which is true. I have not really looked it over at all. But there's part of the Strong Light headset on it. There's probably other stuff. But so this other guy, he got this bike and he showed it to me. I was like, oh, I didn't even see how. How'd you get? I didn't even see it. And it's real huge. And the fork was, in the trash. He grabbed the fork out of the trash, and I was like, I'd grab that fork. I'd check and see, find out why they threw it in there. If there's any real reason. And what if they threw it in just because it's French? Like, who knows? So he ended up letting me have this frame. We talked about it for a while, and I told him some of the good things and bad things. I told him it was huge. I told him it's not a real Px10, I don't think, because that fork has the wrong crown. It's got the right dropouts. These Reynolds 531 decals are in such good shape, too. I was almost wondering if this is a repaint. But there's a Eugene, probably U of O, bike campus parking tag on here that expires September 1st, 1979. So if this was a repaint, it was done a long time ago. This has the Nervex lugs, which I think Peugeot used on Px10s, and probably a few other models up until 74, I believe. And after that, were normal lugs. But then I see people all the time with like the normal lug ones that they swear is a 72 or, a 75 or 6 or something with Nervex lugs, and they swear it's that. So who knows? I think, back in the old factory, back in France, they were all a little hungover, maybe drinking a little wine at lunch, taking lots of smoke breaks. I don't think they really cared. I think they used whatever they could. I think they probably found an extra box of Nervex lugs that they thought they'd lost, for years. Just used them all up. All the stuff was there. Why not just use it all up? So this has Strong Light cranks. They pulled the crank bolts but couldn't get the cranks off because Strong Light takes, I think our regular Japanese and English bikes take like a 22.2 or whatever the thread pitch is. Strong Light and TA take different. I think TA takes 23 and Strong Light takes 23.3. So if you try to get a regular crank puller in there, it just rattle around. It'd never come off. So it's still got the Strong Light cranks on them. They're still in good shape. They're not high mile or anything. The tapers aren't blown out. This one's pressed on pretty far. Oh, it doesn't feel particularly light. Look at that. It's got the original Strong Light bottom bracket in it. Bro, old stuff. Old, crusty, probably hasn't greased in it since the 70s. Way better than brand new stuff. People are always trying to tell me how modern garbage bike parts that they drunk the Kool-Aid on are just so much better than vintage parts. I can hear the crustiness in these bearings. They don't care. They're partying. Might be a tiny bit loose. But it does look like part of the derailleur hanger has been removed. The Hooray ones usually come both down little things, so it wouldn't be Hooray. Maybe it's Campy. I'm wondering if they cut the rest of the Campy style hanger off so they'd use a Hooray on it or something. So I'll hold it up to some other dropouts and try and get an idea of what that is. So I have some old French trailers that will probably work if I do something with this. Or like the last Px10 I got a year or two ago, an old Schwinn mechanic owned it, and he hacked off the derailleur hanger Used a like clamp-on claw style Schwinn derailleur and Schwinn chrome steel wheels for some reason. So that one I just made into a fixed gear. Put a nice set of old fixed gear wheels on it and did a 1x with the ring and built it up. And I love that bike, and I sold it to a cool guy who's only into modern bikes. I'm always talking about how cool vintage bikes are, and he said he bought it, and he said he loves it more than anything. He won't ride any of his modern bikes anymore, and he told me he took it on the STP, the Seattle to Portland ride. A very long bike ride on a single-speed converted Nervex lugged 70s Peugeot Px10. That kind of crusty bottom bracket and headset. I was like, oh, I just made it for like a beater bar bike, but if you love it, man. So that's always good to know when you finally get somebody on a nice bike and they actually appreciate it. This guy's pretty big. I do not remember if I measured it. I don't have a measuring tape right here. I should. I kind of want to build it and make Curtis ride it. He's been coming to the shop almost every Sunday and hanging out and working on projects he got from salvage sales, buying some parts for me or whatever, giving me big tips. He got an old Raleigh this week that I looked at, but it was pretty cool. The rear drop outs are kind of low end, so I wasn't into it. So he got it. Raleigh 555 SL, a lighter version of their heavier tubes. But it's about his size, and I hope he does some fun stuff with it. But I should put him on this bike. You ride a 70s Peugeot, it'll change your life, man. They're the best riding bikes in the entire world. They're magic. Sorry to break it to you, because they're all French, and the parts are hard to find, expensive, they're all in rough shape, and blah, blah, blah. But look at this thing. The paint is so good. This sticker from 79 is horrifying, because the paint is, it's a little scrunched up here from probably you locking it. It's got, it's got some scrunches here and there, but overall, for French chrome, the chrome looks fantastic, and some of the paint, not the high wear areas, the decals, look amazing. These Reynolds 531 stickers look amazing. They're always usually like 90% gone. I do want to measure this real quick. Bear with me. Looks like it's a 23-inch frame. Is that a lie? That is definitely a lie. 3 is right here. This is a 63 centimeter frame. I don't know why I was thinking 23. 63 centimeters. This is a pretty big boy. Ooh. Someone was messaging me. I have that blue Chinelli looking, probably Italia Vega frame. It's like a 62. And someone was messaging me saying they kind of wanted it. They wanted me to do the whole 650B conversion on it. They didn't have any cash. They wanted to do a trade. I'm like, I never have any money. I need to pay rent. But I love old bikes, so I had to ask him what they had for trade. He sent me some pictures. Hopefully I'll overlay them here. I don't remember what he said. It was late 60s, early 70s. Full chrome, Schwinn Paramount. I think it's in my size. It's like a 58 or 9. Super hot bike. It's every old man's dream bike. Full chrome, so I can't do any mods on it. It's good, so I won't mess it up. Won't make it a 650B conversion unless it magically fits. A lot of old bikes really do. Gorgeous, gorgeous frame. He said it's probably worth like $900. That might be true. I've seen Paramounts go as low, like, Nervex lugged 60s and 70s Paramounts go as low as 6, but a lot of people are still asking 9, 12, 14. It's a full chromed one. It's got one little ding and scratch, was right on the top. And I'm like, cool, I will totally do it. I want that bike, but to warn you, that blue Italia Vega or whatever does not have any eyelets on the dropouts. It cannot be a fender bike. It's all chromed. I won't destroy the chrome to add eyelets. Chrome is deadly toxic. You should not grind on it, breathe it, weld on it, especially weld on it. He's like, man, I already have like 3 old vintage, Italian race bikes that are converted to 650B. I wanted like a fender bike for the winter, and I was like, oh. And I do have a 64 centimeter Fuji touring bike, and I told him that, and he just went radio silent. He was probably like, screw you, bro. I'm not swapping a chrome Paramount for an old Fuji. No offense to Fujis. A lot of people love Fujis. They've never been my thing. Maybe I'll give this thing a real look over, and maybe I'll see if he's interested. This has fender eyelets. It's gorgeous. It's big. We'll see about this fork. This fork is weird. I have always seen PX10s and stuff with a different fork crown, with a like, it might be the Nervex specific fork crown, or one looks just like the Nervex Pro crown. This crown just looks so cheap to me. It looks like a cheap Schwinn crown. But it's got the Reynolds 531 logos. They're mint on it. It's got the simplex front dropouts, and the texture on the dropouts underneath the chrome is exactly the same as the rears. It is very interesting. It's got this gorgeous AVA with the cutout stem on it. There's a stem bent too. Oh, it's got the matching gorgeous AVA bar with the logo. You can read through the cutout in the stem. Oh, they're so hot, bro. And look, this is something else weird. Makes me think it's not a PX10. It's like, it might be some other random one I don't know. It has a set of Mayfac brakes that someone has put Diacomp chicken levers on. What? Why? Nothing makes a bike look cheaper than chicken levers or suicide levers or whatever you want, but some people do love them. I have a customer with an old Peugeot, and he's got the chicken levers, and he's all about them. One's all damaged. He wants me to see if we can find him some more chicken levers to replace them. So I might. God, now I gotta measure this bar. Oh, it's so bent. It's like both sides are pushing in. It's probably bent. Oh, I don't want it to be bent. It's so cool. It's got the competition headset. I haven't pulled any of this apart yet. I got to the shop and see if any of it's savable. God, I hope so. It's beautiful. This beautiful front hanger. I see a lot of these like Mayfac style front hangers. A lot of them are just flat. A lot of them just have like a bad, galvanized finish. This one is all rounded and domed to stiffen it. It's got a beautiful chrome finish. I love everything about this bike. I love everything about this stupid bike except for this fork crown, which I can totally live with because it's all paint matched and cool. If it's, God, I can't believe these people just threw this in the trash. I do not hope, but I'm like, I hope I find a big crack or something real in it. Just if I throw it in the trash, but also I hope I don't, because, it's got the original wood cork plug in the bottom, and it's moving. It's like, you can touch it and it moves. This is a rare thing Peugeots did. I do not know why. They put a wood plug in the bottom of a lot of their nicer bikes, maybe to keep water from getting up inside. Maybe they were afraid it was going to rust the bolts or do something. I don't know. I've never actually seen one of those before. I've only heard about them from a lot of nerds. So this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous bike with these gorgeous, gorgeous strong light looks so good, but it's like heel rubs almost polished the logo off, but the whole thing's like, it hasn't dug in at all. Someone rode the crap out of this bike and did not wear it out and did not ride worn out chains. I might have to go back to the CCC and be like, hey, are there any parts off this? When this came in, did you guys take the parts off to try and sell separately for $20 for the wheel and $10 for this, that? I'm glad it has the whole headset. I'm glad it has the whole bottom bracket and cranks, but I might go ask, man, and be like, was there a derailleur? Is there a front derailleur? Like, any other parts on this thing? Because especially a seat post. I would love the old Simplex seat post that came with these in the weird 26.4, 26.6 size or something. Okay, that's enough ranting about this gorgeous. Also, I don't know if you noticed, this thing is like a kind of beautiful minty, maybe a little 70s pea green. I've never seen one in this color. I've never even heard of one in this color. I've seen one orange one in my life and a zillion white ones with black lugs and stuff. But never, ever a green one with black lugs. I wonder if somebody ordered it custom. It's a big size. Maybe they got a custom size. Maybe they picked custom paint when they ordered it. This bike was clearly taken care of very, 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 very well for a lot of decades. Someone loved this bike. I'm very excited, and I hope I can do right by it because I just love it. One of my friends, somebody used to be my friend, doesn't talk to me anymore. He loved old Peugeots. He worked with an old man, and he loved old Peugeots, and he's the guy who really taught me a lot about bikes and how to work on them. And he was obsessed with these, and he had a couple. And he made me love old French bikes. What a wingnut. So I went and started digging around at the old CCC. There's no bikes I was interested in. There was no frames I was interested in, except for this one, which I didn't see. No wheels I was interested in. I went over to the used parts, and I was like, I bet there's not really going to be anything interesting. 3 or 4 guys 3 or 4 guys got their ticket called before me, so they looked at bikes and went over the parts. They'd already been digging. I was like, yeah. First thing I saw. 3 other guys looking at their bins. I looked over, first thing I saw. TA crank. I mean, there's a chance it's not TA. They're also, oh Jesus, there's also something called a Lambert crank. It was like sort of made by TA and kind of looks like a TA, but they don't take a square taper. This definitely looks like a taper to me. They take like just a solid square bottom bracket, and they're hard to keep on. Oh, it's got the early pedal dust caps. They like machine this little dust cap and put it in before they polish it, so it looks like it's welded in. This is like a little dust cap. There is some real rub back here, so this would be a real beater only. Maybe these should be the cranks for the Allegro if I still go all beater parts. Real TA logo. It's the cycle. It's the Pro 5Vs. This is like the compact cycle touring one. They also make like a Criterium. The rings are right here, so they use giant chain rings. The inner chain ring's 38. Okay, that's a good inner middle chain ring. It's pretty worn. The outer one, I do not. This thing's the opposite of this Peugeot. This thing's pretty crusty. How do you? Is it probably hitting the front derailleur every time the crank goes around or something? That's, I mean, it's like a mil or two of damage. You can see it. It's too much damage to really sell these. There's lots of chain scrapes. Whoever had this drop the chain all the time. It's missing one proprietary, very soft old French bolts. They're really easy to get new old stock for about 20 bucks. And I usually just buy a new Velo Orange set. I think the Velo Orange ones are a billion times the quality. They're like 25 bucks. They're Allen heads on both sides, which makes them easier to mount. And if I keep the TA spacers, the little round spacers between the chain rings on these TA cranks are super narrow for some reason. The VO ones are kind of wide. The VO ones feel like they're for like 6, 7, 8. But if you want to go like 9 or 10 speed on these vintage cranks, you really have to use these narrow original spacers. 11, I hear, gets a little wider again somehow for some reason. So I wonder if the VO cranks would be good for 11 speed too. But I haven't tried. Yeah, all these bolts are pretty rounded out on the back. They might be real hard to get off. So that TA crank, I'm very excited. And the next thing I reached in there, guess what's the next thing you reach in there? The match. The matching non-drive one. So that's exciting. Tapers are so greasy. The threads look maybe a little damaged. They look maybe a little damaged, but I bet you can still get a puller in there. Pedal threads. There's no markings on the back. Well, I mean, there might be markings underneath this thick layer of grease, but usually they'll say, you know, the French stamp. These ones are early enough, they're probably definitely French. Who knows? These might clean up and be a great scruffy crank, or they might basically be dead. I don't know, but I love old TA cranks. They're just gorgeous old French stuff, and I break them. They're expensive. They go for like $100 used, in decent shape usually. They break. I've broken TA cranks. I've blown the tapers out. I've cracked the cranks in half. Stronglight 49Ds are even hotter, and they're way easier to break. Okay, so there's that. I was really excited. Let's look around some more. There's these set of cheapo Chang Star. These look like little kids' bike levers. They're not. They look like... God, they might even be long pole. Probably V-brake levers. But they're anodized red. They're plastic. They're cheapo, but it's fun because they're anodized. Nothing. One set of pedals. One feels real good. One's a little crusty, but I'm like out of pedals at the shop. Like, so those would be good on like a, you know, commuter bike who's just sick of horrible old road pedals, or, you know, if I refurbish an old beater bike just to sell. You know, these are great for them. I had a bunch. Some guy on eBay had a ton of brand new, really nice Swellgo plastic pedals like that for like $5 a piece, and I bought like all of them a couple of years ago, and I just used the last set of my sister's bike, so it's like, I'll show some more pedals. I broke one of these a while ago. This wasn't in the Sunday salvage stuff. It was in like a regular tool bin up front for $5. It's like asking $5 per tool, so I was like, yeah, I'll get one because I broke one. So I don't have a backup. I put my backup on my tool bench, and I got that. A V-brake noodle. You can never have enough V-brake noodles and stuff around. One like stem cap for some style of stem. It's like a plug when the little bolt's all recessed in. I feel like it stems missing this sort of thing all the time. It's This one's not in great shape, but it was basically free and gray. 2 water bottle cages. Vintage Blackburn. It's real beat. I had a real pristine matching pair of vintage Blackburns. And a customer, he's got an old Peugeot, and I sold him a Blackburn rack, and he asked if I had any water bottle cages, and I showed him. He's like, yeah, he only wanted one. I hate when people break things up. I'm like, no. People are always like, oh, you got a beautiful matching wheel set? I just want to buy one. No, buy the set. Buy it. He only got one. I'm like, oh. So I saw this and I grabbed it. It's not as clean as the other ones. Look like they've never been used. They were magic. I grabbed this little black one. It says Landis Cyclery, Australia. That's interesting. He took quite a trip. It's the black sort of wire style where it clips on to these dudes. This is cool and weird. I wonder, these might be, I don't know. They're pressed together, maybe they're riveted on. I got them to have a cool old gold water bottle that took some sort of style of thing like this. I thought maybe we could steal them, but I don't think these will be stealable. They're cool on their own. Do I have a zillion water bottle cages? Yes. I don't ever buy them. Very rarely. And then in one of the bins, I found some random parts of an old Simplex shifter. And you know, people have these sometimes and they explode and missing all the parts. The wing nut's intact. I grabbed it. It might even come off of this Peugeot. It's got parts of the clamp-on shifter on there and these all separate for some reason. So I grabbed them. Ugh. And people are always asking me for handlebars. Everyone was like, you grab all the good handlebars, like the upright conversions, you always get them all. And I always tell people, I'm like, they're just there. You just go look in the bin. And people are like, look, they're like, no, there's never in there. You must have. I'm like, I didn't go get them. I walked over and pulled these ones out. I'm like, these are silver. They're a little scruffy. They're good shape. They're upright. A little bit of sweep. This is an awesome bar. People are like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, go look through the bars. I'm going to tell you guys a secret that I tell people all the time. No one ever understands what I'm saying. I still say it all the time. It's still the truth. Look with your hands. You walk over to a bin or something, dig, pull things out. Like, look with your hands. You just, like, glance over a bin of junk and you're like, ugh. But every time I look with my hands, I always find something good in there. So, you know, bars are $2 a pound. What does this bar cost me? $1? I'm going to sell it for 10 or 15 used. Like, 12 at a minimum. This one was in there, too. This is fun. It's a 39. It's vintage, but it's not all scruffy. Silver. It's Fuji branded, but it's a Nitto Olympiad B115. It's even before the beat. It says 115. So if someone's got kind of narrow shoulders and has an old Fuji, this would be an extra cool vintage Nitto bar. What? $1? Silver. It does not look crashed on. Doesn't look anything. This bar looks nice. It looks like it had cloth tape on it forever, and someone unwrapped it to pull it off. Bits of residue. This is a nice bar. I love this bar. I grab any vintage Nitto bar, even if they're narrow. Eventually someone will want them. And then I saw this sitting in the pile. Now, I do not remember. This was either there last week or I grabbed one of these recently. This is a Panmixer Pasela. It's the Pro Tight. It's the modern logos. Couldn't be more than 5 or 6 years old. 7 or 8, 9. It's got like 90% tread life left. Like, really? You can almost still see the little ridge all the way down the middle. No wear off of the nubs on the side. I think I have one of these. If not, another one will come up. Pasela's my favorite tire. No one else cares about them. I have no idea why. It's a wonderful, very supple, folding, lightweight tire. This is basically, Panmixer makes all of the hipster tires now. All of them. All the Simworks and all the Rene Hurst and all that. That's all made by Panmixer. And it's basically just a slightly lighter version of this tire. And they're not $120 better than this tire at all. So I love these Paselas. 738, whatever. I grabbed it. If I have another one, cool. If not, I grab every Pasela from there in decent shape. And I always end up making sets. I get a lot of 28s. For some reason, people donate so many 700 by 28s there. It's the craziest thing. I've been a bike shop for almost 10 years, and I don't think I ever sold a single 700 by 28. Probably one or two, but like 723s all the time, 25s, people could fit them. Then stuff went up to 32s and 38s. You never see these bigger than 32. Like, that's the biggest you can fit old road bikes and stuff. You know, 38s is like hybrid-y stuff, and basically everybody just wanted the Schwabi Marathons. I carried the Marathons in all the big sizes, and I carried the Paselas in all the littler sizes and medium sizes, and then I Bought stuff that I got on super sale sometimes. Old Mary Sales used to sell their Made by Pan Racer branded tires on clearance all the time. I just like load up. I want a bunch of pink, weird 700 by 38 tube fixed gear tires and stuff. I loved it. So I went to Bike Farm, and it wasn't too exciting. I didn't really feel like digging. I went to the shop, and I had like 3, 4, 5 people coming on Sunday. Sunday was busy. A couple big projects dropped off. And I found one of these. So that kid who comes in a lot now, he's got like an 80s Peugeot that he's in love with. It has this crazy style braze-on simplex front derailleur, and I feel like his is pretty worn out. I was like, oh, it's a little weird. Where are we going to find one? Top of the derailleur bin at Bike Farm. Here's one. It's got a lot of chain wear, but other than that, it doesn't look like it's been shifted a lot. It doesn't feel loosey or sloppy to me. I think that if his derailleur goes out, we could bolt this right on and it'd be great forever. So I bought it. They kind of charged a lot for it, but I don't care. He's going to need it one of these days, and maybe he'll even buy it now to hoard for when he does need it. Because there's nothing else that's going to work. I was digging around a different bin and found a Surly, this is the older style, like 90s, 2000s Surly seat post clamp with a little Surly S on it. I think they're all stainless steel, and they painted them black anyways. And I think they're a weird size, like 30.0 or something, which is apparently really, really rare for this style clamp. Let's go over a thin steel seat tube on a standard size tube. And I don't know if they make these anymore. I don't know. For some reason, everyone sort of always needs one of these, and they're kind of hard to come by, so I bought it. This was in the free bin. It is a set of stainless steel security bolts in M8 by 125 by 45. So this could be cut down. This would be really good for a lot of seat post binders, maybe some stems. Comes with the security key and a little chain ring thing. I'm 99% sure I donated these. I think that Soma had a bunch of these and I bought them. I didn't like them because a lot of the seat post binder bolt ones, the stainless seem cheap. They like bend really easy and it's going to break. But I'm pretty sure I bought them. I'm pretty sure I donated them. They were in the free box. I got them back. Why not? I probably spent $20 on these orders originally. So that's it. There's a tiny Bike Farm. So Bike Farm someone donated a complete bike. It was so complete sitting in the back that I thought somebody wrote it in. I didn't think it was for sale. I thought somebody set it there. I went and looked around. They said no, it had been there for a while. It wasn't anybody's. It was an old Bertoni with like weird Columbus like Max tubes, like switchblade. Like it was cool tubes. Had the original Mavic bar and stem on it, and then all mismatched junk parts. I was trying to find a volunteer who would tell me it was for sale and tell me how much. And I was really thinking they might say like $100, $60. It was complete, needed everything, all junk. They found some guy who was volunteering there. And he came up and he's like, it's got matching 105 brakes, like beat up 8-speed era gray ones, they're worth $0, no one cares. It's got that, the wheels are cool. I'm thinking like $400 for a beat up donated bike with flat tire in the front and like needed everything's mismatched. And I was like, bro, it's like a $60 Craigslist special with all mismatched. And I was just like, no thanks, dude. I was gonna try and talk him into 50. I thought about asking him like, can I buy it without the stupid brakes that you're in love with for no reason and the stupid wheels? Like, I just want the bar and stem and the headset, really. And he's like, yeah, I can tell he really thought it was something special, and he thought his opinions were real true because he didn't even wait for my response. He just said $400 and started walking away. So I didn't even ask. I probably should have. And it's like, how about just the bar and stem and headset? Like, I don't want the stupid Bertoni fake Italian race frame. They're like another Vega style bike. Like they were made by some guy because he wanted an Italian bike, but no one really cared. Italian bikes, a lot of ego and prestige. There's none of this in this. It could only fit 723s. Like the frame's effectively worthless to anyone. The old guys who know better don't want it, and the young guys only want fat tires. I would love that Mavic bar and stem though. That'd be hot. That'd be hot. Put them right in this old Peugeot or something cool. So that is my Sunday salvage score. Pretty little. I did sell something just now, right before I started this video. I've had these, I got a set of wheels from Sunday Salvage Sale like a year ago. That turned out to be 650C, but they're like Roth Vector hubs and rims, like Roth wheels, like the hottest thing ever 2005 or 10 or something. I think they're like handmade here in Oregon or something. They're hot, they're roady stuff. 650C with some kind of old tires on it. I put them up for $200 on Facebook like a year ago. I got a few messages here and there, no one ever bought them. I lowered it to $100, and this lady messaged me, she's like, oh, that's what I'm looking for, $100, I'll come get them. So she just rolled up and bought them. So I made a little bit of money, only a few $100 left to make rent. It's a little scary because Thanksgiving's coming up and everything's weird, but I got a bunch of bikes dropped off. If I can sneak in and get them done before Thanksgiving, hopefully they'll get picked up and paid for before the 1st. And a few other people are in talks. I did put out a thing saying I'm doing a 25% off Black Friday sale thing. The problem putting up sales is sometimes it'll drum up a little business, cool. Sometimes it drums up no new business, and you're like, ugh. But it always drums up old business, the stuff people have been talking about for weeks, the stuff people are about to pick up, like, can I have that too? Well, no, the whole point of pointing it up is to try and drum up some business because I'm desperate not to lose money on business that people already liked and paid for and had no problem paying for at full price. So I'm telling people no, and hopefully it doesn't make them mad and go away. I'm like, no, only for new business, drum up new business after Thanksgiving for the winter times. If anyone gets mad at me, I'll say, okay, I'll give you that, but it's at the back of the line of all the new business. Like, it'll be like 3 or 4 months till I get to it instead of getting it done next week, like we talked about. So we'll see if that helps. One guy said he's mailing me a couple of frames. He wants some cool 26-inch wide Px10 dual fork crown forks with all the cool braze-ons and stuff. He saw one in a Radavist article from Ultra Romance from like 10 years ago. One of his friends made him one for his old mountain bike. So he's like, I better get 2. And now he says he's mailing me a friend's bike who wants one too. So I don't know if that means 3 forks or just still the 2. I don't know. It's mountain bikey stuff. I have to go figure out. He had a replacement fork on it. He said it didn't ride very well, but his daughter has a much smaller version of the bike that has the stock fork on it. It's like a Trek 950 or something, from the 90s. I don't know. And he said that fork rides rad. So I want to make sure I can nail that height and geometry and not make his bike ride terrible or weird. So I got to go figure which fork it is exactly and try and get the axle crown about the same and try and get the rake about the same and all that stuff while making a rad fork. I had a kid just drop off a really cool old stump jumper, and he wants the disc brake added, maybe some cable guides and stuff, the new disc brake, and that I think we worked on it. I think we did the videos about home mechanic syndrome. He brought that bike back, of course, and he got a crust. Lightning bolt front fork to go on it because the fork was having all sorts of problems. It was so cheap, it was like shimmying under braking load, and the crown was too narrow, and it was not a good candidate for a 650V conversion. And he wants me to dimple the inside of the chainstays on the rear, realign it to 130, change a bunch of braze-ons, like solve a lot of the frames problems, and then put the crust fork on, and that should solve that problem. And he said he wants to ride it and get really into it, and then he says he wants to buy a custom frame for me. We'll see. I told him I'd give him the 25% off on that if he ordered it, before the end of the month. So let's put down a quarter. 25% off of like a, $4,500 frame is a lot of dough. But I've been back in frame, but I took, 5 years off, and I'm back in it for 1 full year now. 0 orders. But all the other frame builders I talk to, most of them say they've got no orders either. Maybe some of the older famous guys have a big stockpile still, but the recession's here, tariffs are here, everything's expensive, inflation's here. So it'd be nice if he ordered one. I'm like, yeah, could order it, quarter down, layaway for the rest. It'll take me months to get built, and it has to get painted and all that stuff. Like, you got a long time to save up the extra dough and pay it off slowly or whatever. Get caught up in other stuff, sell your car. So it'd be fun to make a custom bike for somebody again. I'm definitely going to make another one for me if I don't get swamped with a bunch of orders. I want to make something cool. And I'm also talking to Curtis. He's doing this head badge. I show these head badge pictures. after CCC and burritos, we went to Bike Farm. He pulled it out. And I gave him a little piece of, raw head tube that hasn't been brazed into a bike yet. And he's been molding this little clay badge. He's having a hard time with this clay. It's the kind he doesn't usually use, and it's giving him a bit of a hard time. It's too soft or something. But he's been, he did some sketches, and he's been playing with AI trying to make the badge because his work's making him learn how to do AI. I'm like, don't train AI how to replace you, bro. Tell him no. So he did some AI renderings too, but he's hand sculpting it off of his drawing. The AI is off his drawing. He's like being very specific, telling it what to change, what to do. He's not just to play with it. He's not didn't ask AI to design it and then he's remaking it. He's doing he's just playing with it. He's not trying to get it to replace creativity. Because I'm like so anti AI, you don't even know. So he brought that and he showed me, and we took a couple cool pictures in front of Bike Farm. It's fun. Instagram just did some new upload or update. I can't figure out how to post stories. I won't post them. I can't figure out how to make posts unless you go into the stories and then choose post, and I think it'll let you post. There's like the post button's gone. It's just a share button now. Why do I want to share every garbage piece of advertising on Instagram? I want to post. I never share anything. Every once in a while, somebody asks me some question. I'll see some Instagram guy from the Netherlands who makes a custom chain ring. I'm like, oh, this is exactly what that guy wanted. And I'll send it to him or something. But Instagram, it's just ads and sponsored junk. It just killed a beautiful platform that was so fun for just sharing photos and showing off the cool stuff you're doing with all the corporate nonsense. I feel like it's dying. I feel like something else should take its place. I feel like someone should start a new Instagram and just call it like Insta10. It's exactly like it was in 2010, but it's exactly what it was before Facebook started messing it up. I would love that. I might even do a paid subscription. We used to use Flickr before Instagram, but now they want $10 a month for a paid subscription, and there's no one on it. All of us old frame builders are on it. It's like 10 of us, and we all shared stuff, and no one looked. There's no customers ever looking on it. $10 a month. That's, you guys are for something no one looks at or uses. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's so uncool. There's something cool about Yahoo Flickr. Sorry, I thought this video was going to take 10 minutes. I'm just droning on and on and on. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know if you got any thoughts on this cool Peugeot or you're desperate for it. But I'm going to hit this other guy up just in case. He's got a lot of old Italian bikes. You might be into a real sexy old French bike. You might be. Even this fork is dead. I have a lot of long steer tube vintage touring forks. They wouldn't be French, but they'd be cool. Or maybe I could make him a custom fork. But not for free skis, not for trade. I hate making forks. They're actually a lot of work. Actually, everything about frame building is a lot of work, and I like it in individual random bits of it. I'll frustrate all sorts of other individual random bits of it. If I started this year with a fresh start, fresh eyes, I think I'm better now than I ever was before, and I think I can recognize stuff better now. I think I used to think I was a lot better than I was. It's pretty obvious now. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not that hot here. I'm getting better. I got to focus on this. Or, I do my lug and flow that silver. I'm like, this is the best I've ever done, the fastest and most comfortable I've ever been at fork rounds. Like, so much stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm really good at the brazing. I picked up the brazing really fast and really well. I had a real eye for it and feel for it. You gotta get better at carving lugs and carving fork rounds. You watch old JP Weigel videos and Brian Chapman videos, and it's like, dang, these guys just do such beautiful work, and that's all I'm ever trying to do. I just wanted to make beautiful French bikes. I never even heard of another frame builder in my life before I started doing it. I thought everyone had retired or died in the 70s. I thought I was the only guy in the world. Now there's hundreds of people doing it. When I first started and I started figuring it out, I only found out like about 30 guys doing it. I'm like, whoa, there's 30 guys doing this, and like 15 of them are here in Portland. Oh my god. And now on Instagram, I'm like, fuck, I follow like 500 frame builders all around. A lot of them are younger, a lot of them are newer, a lot of them I'm not fans of their work at all. A lot of them I am, though. A lot of them are insanely impressive. Just everything they touch is just magic show quality perfection. You're like, what? How? Some guys are doing stuff kind of rough, but they know it. They're having fun. They're like learning as they go, and like it's cool to watch. Anyways, thanks for watching.